Hey everyone, I just wanted to get on here and do a follow-up. Come here, Jacob. My son wants one of the candies. Well, I guess it's not a candy. But anyway, so here they are. Let me pop one out. Okay, alright, don't be climbing on my chair. What do we do with these? What do we do with them?
Two of them.
Do you chew these?
Chew these?
No.
No.
You suck on them.
Sugar.
Alright, thank you. Okay. He was, before I hit record, he was going, you need to suck on it? Because he knows he has to suck on the candy and not chew it. Well, you know, preferably, because that's how it gets absorbed. So I wanted to kind of talk about that. So, like I had said in the last video, which I think was a couple days ago, I've been taking these little lozenges, which I've had for a while, but again, I haven't been consistent. So, anyway, they're really good, and that's what makes them easy. That's why my kid's like, let me suck it so he can take one. But anyway, that sounds bad, but that's my 3-year-old for you. What was I gonna say? See, I get so lost, but that's part of it. That's what I want to kind of show people. Like, first of all, this is just like, okay, last time I had some makeup on because I did a picture for my page, so you know I didn't want to look like crap, but you know, when we're depressed, and there I am, I'm saying a bunch. I'm gonna try not to do that, but I'm literally losing track of like what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I didn't put like makeup on and stuff. I want to show you what I normally look on a regular day-to-day basis. So I got my hair up because I don't want to do anything, no makeup. I honestly live in tank tops right now. It's just easier to breastfeed for me. And I mean, you can't see right now, but I do have like yoga pants on. I live in pajama pants right now. Like, let's see, I think I'm on 5 weeks postpartum. I've lived in pajamas and messy buns and no makeup. I mean, I don't wear makeup that often anyway, but anyway, like, for people that don't understand, or for people that are going through this, like, this is just what depression's like. Like, you just don't want to do a whole lot. Like, the only times I've put on like regular clothes, right, is to go to you know, like follow-up appointments, if I have to go to the store or whatever. But honestly, even that, with COVID and 2 kids by myself, I did the delivery, and like the curbside pickup stuff, that kind of thing. Stop! Alright, sorry about that. So I'm going to have to edit that together because my dogs are barking and they're really loud and it's super annoying. So anyway, so I've been doing that kind of stuff, so I haven't really needed to put like clothes on to go out in the real world because I've been in my house, which I guess isn't that big of a deal. Like, people probably do that because why wear jeans and stuff if you can be comfortable in your own house? Anyway, the point is, like, when you're depressed, like, you're unmotivated and stuff, and the whole point of this is talking about postpartum, so people understand and realize this is a real thing and not feel ashamed about it, or, you know, insecure or scared, whatever. So how I kind of knew, but I was in denial, right, was my extreme irritability, like with my toddler, of course. I mean, toddlers can be irritating in general anyway, just because toddlers are intense, let's be honest. I mean, they just are. They're in your face. Why? Let me do this. Or you're like, no, I don't want you to do that. And they're like, no, I need to. That's what my kid does. He'll say, Jacob needs to. And I'm like, no, you don't. I just told you no. Need to. So it's stuff like that. Which, you know, if you weren't stressed out, right, it wouldn't be hard to deal with. You'd laugh it off, move on, whatever. But when you're going through something like postpartum, I mean, when I say irritability, like, I've been screaming. I'm not a screamer, I mean, like, my head would hurt because I'm screaming all the time. At least it felt like it, right? I don't know, maybe I was. Um, and it's really bad when your toddler goes, Mommy, don't yell at Jacob. And it like breaks your heart, but at the same time, you're so angry and frustrated. It's like you lack empathy. And for me, that's a really bad thing because I'm a really empathetic person. Like I just am. I naturally am. That's my career. Like that's a normal thing for me to have is empathy. So when I realized I didn't really have much empathy left, like my empathy tank was empty. I was like, this is not good. I got to do something. And that's why when I got asked at that appointment those questions, I just had to be honest because I kind of already knew anyway. So that was a big thing for me, right? And the lack of motivation, which I'm not like a super motivated person. It's not, I guess it's not that I'm not motivated, it's lack of focus. But lately I've just been unmotivated, lack of interest in things. Things haven't been exciting. To me, that's like typical depression symptoms. But sorry, I'm on my rocking chair, that's why it looks like it's moving. But if you don't know anything about depression, well, they call postpartum the baby blues. But anyway, but depression in general, it makes you not want to do things you normally would do, or you're not excited to do things that you normally would enjoy. You're not motivated, you're not focused, you can't sleep, you're irritable. With postpartum, you can have anxiety stuff too, where you're super scared of things. And to me, anxiety can also be like, well, just fear in general, right? Fear to go out of the in public, fear that you're the worst parent in the world, which I was having that kind of stuff too. Is like, oh my gosh, I'm being a terrible mom. Here I am screaming at my kid. I know, being in my field, that babies around lots of yelling and fighting and stuff like that can actually have really bad effects on their brain. And I'm like, I'm screwing up my kid, right? Like I'm having all these thoughts and it sucks, right? So but again, it's part of the whole baby blues postpartum thing, because of the hormone imbalance stuff. This is normal, like for the condition, right? It's not normal to feel that way, which is why I want to talk about this so people know to go get help and it's okay. Because it's a lot more common than you think. It's just I really think it's underreported because people like me that are in denial, even though I know, like I knew. Like you just don't want to admit it, especially to a professional, like, hey, I'm struggling with these things. Because like for me, it's like I want to be super mom and I don't want people to know I have some sort of weakness. But it's one of those things, like you have to do what you got to do to continue being super mom, right? Like me screaming at my child and my newborn being around a screaming mom, that's not being super mom. So I had to do what I had to do, admit it. Not that there was much that the doctor could do because I didn't want to be on meds anyway, but I kind of had an idea of what I would do, my way. But again, there's nothing wrong with meds. I just personally, I don't want to do them. I took them for years. I haven't taken them in probably 10 or more years. I don't want to go down that route again. If I had to, yeah. So if I had suicidal thoughts or homicidal thoughts, I would go down that route for sure because you don't want those. That's another thing you got to be careful of is you can get suicidal thoughts, you can get homicidal thoughts, and it can get dangerous. So anytime you have those type of thoughts and you start planning it out or anything like that, and it's more than just fleeting thoughts and like it's consuming you and you really want to do it, that's when you really need to get help. And you absolutely should call some sort of provider. If you already have one, call your therapist, call your psychiatrist, whatever, your doctor, your regular doctor. There's suicide hotlines, that kind of stuff. Make sure you get help. It's a very serious thing and it's something that can be helped. So get help if you need it. I mean, luckily I don't have that, so I wasn't wanting to get on medications. But again, like I know from past experience, if I were having suicidal thoughts or anything like that, I'd do what I had to do. But for me, luckily for me, it's not that serious. Um, anyway, so I've been taking these. I actually have noticed, because it's only been a couple days, right? And I have been consistent because it helps me to also include my child. So, like, that's how I remember my prenatals and stuff, right? Because I give my kid his vitamins. So, me being super mom, oh, I'm giving my kid my vitamins. This is time to take my vitamins. It just helps me. So, he gets to eat his little candy medicine, is what we call it. And that reminds me too. So I've been doing that, and I've noticed I've actually been able to look at him and smile and laugh, which I haven't been able to do, which is sad. My kid is funny. I mean, he is funny, and he was cracking me up this morning at breakfast because he says the funniest things. I don't know. And he's like I said, he's brilliant. He comes up with really smart stuff. He's a little inventor. Like, I love this kid. So to be able to laugh again is a big step because I have not been able to laugh. I think that was even one of the questions is, have you been able to laugh in the past 2 weeks and blah blah blah, and I was like, no, I have not. But lately, yeah, the past couple days I've been able to look at my kid and smile again and not be as frustrated. Still have screamed a little bit because he wouldn't take a nap. But honestly, I've kind of toned it back a whole lot, which means I'm making progress, which is a good thing, right? So, getting there. But with anything, it takes time. Um, Especially like with these little candies, right? I probably need to be taking two in the beginning, right? And then kind of slow back down to just one. But I'm just taking one a day, seeing how it goes so I can report to you guys like what I'm doing, what's working for me. Again, just because something works for me doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for you. You might need to focus on some other part of your body for whatever reason. The immune system one works for me. But it has to do with the the negative ions. That's what I wanted to tell you about. So, oh my gosh, if you guys count how many times I say it's probably like 100. Sorry. I'll post some more things about negative ions on my Facebook page, so it'll make more sense because obviously my brain's all over the place because that's part of it, right? My brain fog stuff. So, negative ions. If you've ever, I don't know, walked outside after it rains and you like smell, I love the smell of rain. I don't know. If you go outside and you smell rain, that feeling you get, maybe it's just me, but for me, like, I like it. I feel good. I'm like loving the smell of rain. Or if you go to the beach, like I live in Southeast East Georgia, so we're close to the beach. You go to the beach, like I'm one of those people I could just sit there and listen to the ocean waves and I could totally fall asleep on the beach. I wouldn't because people are scary, but I would love to, right? Cuz it's just there's something super relaxing about the ocean. I have friends that go hiking, out in the woods and stuff all the time. Out in the mountains, whatever. Yeah, we're a couple hours from the mountains in Tennessee too. Like when you go to these places in nature, it makes you feel good, right? Let me kind of rabbit hole here. So, if you have been following me, the whole traumatic thing story I had, a lot went on around then. Like, I had a lot of heart issues at that point, or at least I thought I did, right? So, I was going to the cardiologist because I was having these heart palpitations. When I first was having them, I went to the ER because I was like, oh my God, I could be having a heart attack because females are different, right? Like, we don't really talk a lot about female heart attacks, and heart attacks run in my family. Like, it's not good. So I went to the ER. Remember, I have depression and anxiety in my history, right? Dude comes in and he's like, you're fine. This is just anxiety. And I'm like, what? And, thinking he's going to give me some anxiety meds. Not addictive one, just like Boost Bar or something, just to like take the edge off, right? At the time, I was at a stressful job, all that stuff. Like, I just needed something. And he's like, He didn't give me anything, by the way. Nothing. He just goes, you need to go outside. You need to go for a hike. You need to walk around in your backyard. You just need to be outside in nature. He's telling somebody that's super like thinking they're going to die and having a heart attack, you just need to go outside and walk around like 30 minutes a day or what, whatever he had said. I was ticked off. Like, I went to the ER. I'm going to have a huge bill for this, and you're telling me to go outside? Ugh. He's not wrong. I think I was mad because, for one, they were telling me it was anxiety, right? Because it had to do with the trauma. And again, I was in denial. That's what I do. But he really wasn't wrong. If you know anything about like earthing and stuff, I believe is what it's called, I would love to do that. It's just going around barefoot, being in tune with the earth, the frequencies of the earth and stuff. But we live in Southeast Georgia, and if you know anything about that, we have fire ants, and they hurt, and they're everywhere. And we also have spurweed. So barefoot in my yard is not happening. Anyway, so I say all that to say that the reason why that was correct and very, very good advice is because we're talking negative ions. So the negative ions just are naturally occurring. They get into like plants and stuff, like the things we eat when, shh, buddy. He's eating a candy cane that he didn't ask. But anyway, go on. So when it rains and it's lightning and that kind of thing, that's the lightning actually charges the things we eat, well, and things we don't eat, but whatever. So plants and stuff, they get charged by lightning. So when we eat it, we get those negative ions. But negative ions are also in the atmosphere, like I said, because you get them when you're out in nature. But anyway, if you were to go and like pick an apple off an apple tree right after it rained and was lightning and stuff, you would have to eat it right then to get the full effects of the negative ions. So I say that because these right here, this company has made technology, or utilizes it, that it puts the negative ions back into these botanicals that make up these lozenges. So when you eat these lozenges, well, suck on them. You're not supposed to chew them. You're supposed to suck on them to get the full effects, because it's going through your saliva into your system and bypassing the digestive system. And so that's the problem with supplements, is they go through your digestive system and then they're not as effective. But anyway, so the negative ions are put back into these botanicals that are then put into these lozenges, which would explain why when I take this immune system one, even though it has nothing to do with my mental health necessarily, which immune system can. I don't know, the baby's getting grumpy. I'm going to try to hurry. So anyway, this real mom life going on right here. Anyway, so the negative ions is what makes people feel better mentally, physically, all of that. Like I said, I'll put more information on my page where I'll also have these videos sliced together, because now I'm going to have to do that. Again, if you have any questions, just email me, private message me, whatever. I want to help you out, and I just want to explain more about postpartum and things you can do. But obviously, being out in nature is a great one. It's free, right? Nature's free. But there are certain things in nature that are more effective than others. Again, I will post that because I need to go. I have a baby that's about to start crying, and I have a bored toddler. So, say hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob.
Anyway, that's my wonderful son. So, anyway, just let me know what you need. I'm here to help. Yep, say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Also, you should do things that you enjoy, right? So not only should you be outside experiencing the negative ions of nature, get a hobby or something, keep yourself busy, entertained, watch some comedies and stuff. That's what I've been doing. But if you want to check out my hobby that I super enjoy, this is what I call chicken therapy. Let me see if I can flip this. Of course it's not going to let me flip it, but anyway, I'll just flip it so you can see. Kind of. Here, they're going to come out, so I got to let them out. There's the the big guy. And there they are, running. I don't want to... Yeah, anyway, they're everywhere now. They're kind of far up there, but... So that's what we do. Sorry I got crap all in my yard, but they're fun, and we especially love the turkey. Hi, buddy. So yeah, this is chicken therapy, even though I have more than just chickens. We got ducks too, but they're up by their little pool right now. But anyway, yeah, get you a hobby, do something, get you some fun pets.